There are three kinds of people on social media. One that will hate on this product not having seen it, also because they already have preconceived notions about the remake and the people associated with it. Two who want to join the brigade of labeling me a certain way dependent on how I judge movies. And the third category is, which includes people who are genuinely curious about how a movie is despite the noise around it. I remember the time when Sandeep or Pinky Farrar had released, and many of the critics and even those who do reviews on YouTube immediately had dismissed the movie, shat on it just because of the talent associated with it, assuming that it will be another way to connect with the audience who was extremely boisterous about its take regarding nepotism and hating everything associated with star kids. Nobody gave a chance to the fact that Arjun Kapoor might put forth a convincing performance, and as I read things written about Good Luck Jerry, it flows in the same boat of being ridiculed, mocked and dismissed without really solely acknowledging its merits and demerits as a film. One of my favorite movies from Nelson is Coco with Nayanthara, and I know for a lot of people it's Doctor, but there was something about the treatment of this Tamil madcaper that really stayed with me. So I went with utmost skepticism actually to watch Good Luck Jerry. The film focuses on Jerry, played by Janhvi Kapoor, a masseuse making her ends meet in a family just comprising of her mother and younger sister. When Jerry realizes that the mother needs massive funds for her cancer treatment, she embarks upon delivering drugs for a gang in order to get fast money. The comedy of errors that take place as one seems to have gone too far in the rabbit hole of drug lords and crime, and how the family attempts to get out of that mess forms the basic storyline of this movie. Here's me telling you the good and bad aspects of Good Luck Jerry so that you guys can ultimately decide whether to watch it on DisneyPlus Hotstar or not. The underwhelming aspects, low-hanging fruit jokes, and the comedy of errors. There were some moments from the film that I really felt were punchlines or tropes which were extremely childish or not organic to the way the screenplay was designed. So whether it was the introduction of Sushant Singh's character pooping and the noise of the act itself taking center stage, or the attempt by Saurabh Sachdeva to immediately get into a defensive martial artist stand while he is surrounded by characters who are from the Northeast, I thought some moments were really the easiest gags to place. You will definitely also notice that there was a sense of the same old tropes of the comedy of errors in the last act of the film that goes on for far too long. Dan was welcome, especially if you know how things conclude if you've seen Coco. This could be the case of dumb charades going for far too long, Cherry's lover who lands up randomly every step of the way dressed up as a groom, or an impromptu rap by Deepak Dobriyal for a cop that stops their car. The silver lining being that it stays true to the madcaper genre and leads to a conclusion like Kamine, which for all of those who have seen that Vishal Bhardwaj gem know exactly what I'm talking about. Bound to be comparisons. There is no way that you can review Good Luck Jerry and not mention the inventive nature with which Nelson created that universe, extracted such enjoyable performances from Nayanthara and Yogi Babu, and enhanced it further with a very compelling color palette and background score. It truly was an enjoyable ride, and those who really cherish that film and its memory, I understand that they're not bound to be invested in this storyline. For those who have seen Coco and tune in for Good Luck Jerry, like me in this case, are bound to create parallels with the original film. For those who have not seen the Tamil film, what's great about Good Luck Jerry is that it creates its own identity with language, geographical location, character tropes, and that's why it doesn't become more of the same, but its own take on similar events. The good. Unique identity and authenticity. I was worried when I got to know that the film is set up in Punjab because there are too many movies from Hindi cinema that create cliches and prototypes with the Punjab setting, but to my surprise, especially because of the conviction of the supporting cast of this film, you genuinely experience a raw and authentic take to the way people communicate with one another. This is not the Bollywood Punjabi that we are accustomed to, but genuinely how you would hear people talk on the streets, being the people of the soil, especially if you see the characters of the drug gangs. What can be criticized, however, is the Bihari accent and dialect that is executed by Janhvi, which acts like a hit and a miss, not really becoming jarring to the point of completely taking away from how Siddharth Sen Gupta, the director, has really made the effort to make this film stand on its own 2 feet and have its unique identity. Color palette and aesthetic. I absolutely love the way the movie has been shot. It has this rustic yet stylized approach, which is actually the way most madcaper comedies are captured. Rangarajan Ram Badran, who contributes to the exceptional frames, really does highlight the unkept lanes of lower middle class households and enhances them to look aesthetically pleasing with his saturated colors, much like Coco did as well. The frames often have characters being placed in the center as individuals surround them from each end, providing almost a spotlight to the character in a terrible pickle as they act or react to people on the other side of the camera. This perfectly captures the pitch of the film, stylized in its frames much like what we saw in a movie like Loop Lapeta as well. The case of Janhvi Kapoor and the talented supporting cast. A lot of people are criticizing Janhvi Kapoor's act as being the damsel in distress throughout the film, but I think this worked perfectly for the circumstances at hand. When one's job is to be unassuming so that the police don't ever question you while you transport drugs, I think the innocence was essentially needed to make that believable. Janhvi being uncomfortable, anxious, and being 2 seconds away from having a meltdown, I think it was a great creative decision for the film and this performance to be of that pitch. While Janhvi does struggle to enunciate, as I said in my trailer review of this movie, she really does deliver in the emotional scenes with the family. My favorite being the case of her getting beaten up by her mother only for her younger sister to embrace her with a warm hug. I feel like people want me to trash on her performance so bad to fit a popular narrative that they get blinded by not even giving credit if a good job and product has been created. It's undeniable, however, that Janhvi benefits from having an absolutely spectacular supporting cast with her. Some of my favorite characters include the drug dealer with a heart, Timmy, played by Jaswant Singh Dalal, the boisterous and always eager Jigar, played by Sahil Mehta, and of course, the popular choice, the prototype TikTok lover boy Rinku, played by Deepak Dobriyal. Even the family members that include the mother, played by Meeta Vashisht, and a full firecracker in the form of Cherry, played by Samta Sudiksha, they really do lend such fine performances. The movie boasts of genuinely funny set pieces, whether it be Timmy and his longing for Jerry, his request for her to keep her hair open, the chote chote mummos discussion, or just Deepak Dobriyal's hilarious attempt at flirting with Jerry, and being shocked at the turn of events, constantly asking, "Mince?" It did account for a fun ride. You are bound to be in love with Coco and create comparisons with the original, but I have to say that despite the love that I have for the original Tamil film, Good Luck Jerry really does account for a fun and carefree viewing experience. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about the movie. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, the handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.